I'm Malcolm Walker, and here I am sitting in the sunshine at Moenzi Tarn Hut, which is halfway up Kilimanjaro. And I'm with my son Richard and the famous Arctic explorer David Hempelman Adams. And this is a bit of a training expedition for something a bit more ambitious later on.
Hi there, my name's Richard Walker, and here we are at 4,300 metres, and it's day 4. This is our beautiful campsite. We'd travelled from Heathrow to Nairobi and changed planes, and eventually landed in Kilimanjaro.
We went to the hotel, which is a 5-star hotel in Tanzania. But I'd say it's one down on a sort of youth hostel in England, but it was okay. And then next morning we're off on the bus to the foot of Kilimanjaro. But that was a bit of a surprise because I thought our luggage would have gone ahead in a truck and we'd have gone in a Toyota or something comfortable. But we're all in this 300-year-old truck with luggage on the roof, 25 porters sitting behind us, and we're bouncing around in the front for 3.5 hours, which you think, why am I here? This is not luxury travel.
It's not the sandy lane.
Anyway.
It's a sort of experience that 10 years ago when I was travelling I would have soaked up and really enjoyed, but actually 10 years have softened me and I couldn't be arsed with it. We stopped at this local market so that the porters could buy some meat, and it was just exactly as you can imagine.
So after quite an ordeal, most of the day in fact, we got to the start point of Kilimanjaro about, 2 o'clock in the afternoon?
Correct.
And here we are, halfway.
Which way are we going?
You're walking 3 hours slowly to Simba camp. So you're walking slowly like a chameleon. Poly.
I first heard of Kilimanjaro in the Comic Relief charity climb a couple of years ago when Cheryl Cole did it. The reason I have come here is for a bit of altitude training for the big Everest trip, which is only 2 or 3 months away now.
So, challenges in life. I'm fighting age, getting older, and panicking that I want to prove I'm really not older. Sailed the Atlantic. I went to the North Pole last year, although I have to admit it was in a helicopter. But nevertheless, that's where I met David, who mentioned he was running a trip to Everest. And you think, well, that's a good idea, why don't I do that? It's the impossible, and it's always nice to try and do the impossible.
I spoke to Dad on the phone and he mentioned that David was launching an Everest expedition, and as soon as he said it I really wanted to go, and it was something that I couldn't let Dad do without me doing as well.
Everest is a powerful word. It's something that everybody knows and recognises, and it's like the ultimate achievement. It's dangerous, it's impossible. So to say that you've climbed Everest, wow.
I want to climb Everest primarily because the opportunity has been given to me. So if I didn't take it up, I'd regret it for the rest of my life.
Richard's always up for anything. He's experienced in travelling, he's very outgoing, he'll have a go at anything, and it'll be really good to do it with him.
Well, how was that first day, fellas?
Piece of piss.
Easy.
So here we are, resting, drinking water. And over there is Kenya, and over there is Mwenzi. Dangerous mountain, but not as high as Kilimanjaro, which is there. This is the lesser spotted chameleon, only found on Mount Kilimanjaro.
I hope it hasn't got rabies.
Kilimanjaro is actually quite tough. I'm not looking forward to tomorrow, because tomorrow from here we go to Kibo Hut, which is 7 hours. Then we get only a few hours sleep, and then we set off at 11 o'clock at night in the dark to actually climb the mountain itself, hoping to get to the top by sunrise. It's climbing through the night, it's a killer. You've got to get to the top very early in the morning, maybe 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, and what a wonderful feeling that would be.
It was a cold night. We had a early dinner about 5 o'clock, but we had the wrong dinner because we had spicy tandoori chicken, which was, we later found out, a huge mistake.
I've got terrible wind for some reason.
We tried to grab a few hours sleep and headed off up the mountain at 12. And it was immediately apparent it was a very cold night.
It was a slow shuffle. Slow, poly.
All of our toes and fingers were getting very cold, and I think Hempy estimated it was about -20, -30. Dad started to go slightly delirious, which was concerning me. We took a oxygen reading and found that his saturation was only 65%. And then he pointed to the moon and asked if it was the sun.
We got to the top of the mountain at 6 o'clock, and then an hour and a half later we were at the highest point.
Uhuru Peak at just under 6,000 metres, and the air was very thin, and it was a long, slow trudge.
Congratulations, my boy.
But I think both of us were fairly pleased with our performance because we didn't have headaches or AMS or anything really.
Super fit. Super.
Kilimanjaro is an interesting mountain, and it's still 19,000 feet. And the rule of thumb, basically, wherever you are in the world, you should spend an extra day per 1,000 feet over 10,000 feet. So mathematically, you should spend 9 days acclimatizing. Otherwise, you're going to have trouble. And I was very keen to get the guys out there, not just to climb Kilimanjaro, but just to show them, actually, altitude is hard work. It's horrible. It doesn't matter if you're on oxygen or if you're climbing on scree or cliff. At altitude, it's just really, really horrible. So what was really, really good, they both acclimatized superbly, really, really well. And the other thing that I think they did really well, which is really important, is looking after themselves, venting out, not sweating, and that's when you get hypothermia. So they've really got on top of that, which I was really, really pleased with, because they're becoming really good climbers in their own right, and I was very proud that they got to the top. I haven't told them that, and I won't until they climbed Everest.
Who's right in the head would ever want to try and climb Everest? You wouldn't. I mean, you've got to be slightly mad, I think, to even contemplate it, but that's what makes life exciting, being slightly mad. Kilimanjaro,